Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. If you have a dating or relationship question or you need an opinion on something, go to the link in the bio and ask a question and get a personalized video sent back to you. It's in the Linktree/The Game Exposed, and you could ask a question and get a personalized video confidentially sent to you answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and today I'm going to do listener questions, okay? Because I got a few good ones that you guys are going to find interesting. So the first one, she writes, I still fantasize about sex with him. No contact again for 13 days. I just want to text him and ask for just sex. I miss him, his taste and smell. Should I text him? Then she says, I still want sex with him even after a bad breakup. Okay, this is very common, very, very common. How many people break up and are still having sex with their exes? This is like one of the worst things you could do, you guys, all right? Even if you had great sex with your ex, you could get great sex anywhere. But when you sleep with your ex, you're not really getting over them. And they're not getting over you for whatever reason, not so much that they're with you maybe for a relationship, but they could just be using you for sex. So when you break up with somebody, it's got to be a clean break. You don't go back to your ex just for sex, all right? Because you broke up for a reason, and when you give somebody a benefit of sex after breaking up with them, your worth is like zero, okay? They're going to look down on you even lower than they did before because now they're saying to themselves, boy, she's really desperate if she's got to have sex with me. She obviously can't find somebody better than me. Not only that, they feel that you're always going to be around. You look desperate, you guys. You can't do that. You just can't do that. And you're not going to be able to move on to the next person. You have to be healed before you move into another relationship. And if you're still having sex with your ex, you're always going to be thinking back on your ex because you've built intimacy with that person. It wasn't just random sex like a hookup where, it was a one-time thing or something like that. You've had experiences with that person and you've built up feelings with that person. So you can't just separate it after you've already had a relationship. It's a recipe for disaster, you guys. It really is. Because if you do that, now that person, eventually, they're going to start to date somebody else and you're going to feel twice as crappy about it, all right? Especially if you were the one that didn't want to break up or that person wasn't really, giving you what you wanted or didn't want to work on the relationship and you're still having sex with them. So that's a big no, you guys. You got to let them go, okay? Let them go. If you want great sex, trust and believe there's plenty of great sex around. Okay, now, next question. All right, you guys? Now, in this question, she is just starting out in dating and everything else. So she writes, I'm sort of newly back on the dating scene. I'm taking things slow. I want to be casual, but open to new possibilities. This guy I've been talking to for a couple of weeks has been throwing out red flags. Although I'll admit my flag radar may be off kilter, I wanted to get your thoughts. He only had one pic on his profile, so I asked him for another. He was a little bit leery about it. And she writes, she did the whole hold a cup because she wanted to make sure he wasn't a catfish. He seemed totally different, but she could tell it was the same person. In the second pic, he had on a wedding ring. I asked about it. He said it was his deceased father's, and he wears it in remembrance. She said she felt very disrespectful to ask any more questions. So the next thing that happens is he asked me to go on a breakfast date when I get off work. I get off at 7 a.m. I told him if I was hungry, then yeah. He comes out and he says he doesn't have a car. So I'm like, wait, I'd have to pick you up if we went out. He said, yeah, unless he would borrow his grandma's car. She says, I'm not comfortable with that when we first meet. She also adds, I've dated narcissistic liars before. I'm getting those vibes, but I don't want to push my past on other people. I'm just thinking this guy isn't worth it. Okay, here's what I have to say about this whole situation with this guy. Now, she says that she's been talking to him for a couple of weeks, and yet she still doesn't know he doesn't have a car. So what is she talking to him about? She's obviously not having conversations to get to know the person or anything like that. And yeah, that's kind of odd that she's been talking to him for a couple of weeks and he never mentioned he didn't have a car or any of that. So what does that say? That says that if she wants to get together with him, she's got to pick him up, you guys. And that's not something you do on a first date. You don't share car rides with anybody. You don't know who these people are, all right? You know, that could be very, very dangerous. You always have to meet in a public place. The other thing is he only had one picture up. Now, a lot of times when you see a profile and they only have one picture, all right, that is somebody who's really not making an effort to meet somebody, okay? They only put one picture up. A lot of times cheaters do that. Or cheaters will put, a picture of their dog, or they'll put a picture of, landscape pictures or something like that. The second picture he sends her, because she requests it, he's got a wedding band on, and he's telling her that's his deceased father. To me, that sounds shady, okay? Because I don't think I've ever heard of anybody wearing their deceased parents' wedding band on their finger. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe that's a possibility. In my personal opinion, she doesn't know enough about this guy. She's getting the vibe. I say trust your gut. You need to talk to him a little bit more and get into in-depth conversations with him to see what he's about. Because if you don't, you're going in blind. How do you talk to somebody for a couple of weeks and you don't know the ins and outs of this person? He should have been talking about his family. He should have been talking about his prior relationships and all of that. That's how you get to know who this person is before you go meet them. Okay, I'm moving right along, all right? And he writes, do you think dating people with kids is better than dating them without kids? All right. Now, there's benefits to dating someone with kids and there's drawbacks, obviously. Generally, if you date somebody with kids, all right, these people are, in general, it depends on where they are and what stage of life, they're a little bit more established. Okay, maybe they've been married already. Maybe they know what it is to be in a serious relationship and they had kids or a situation like that, or they're divorced. In that sense, they know what it is responsibility-wise to have a commitment, and also a commitment with children. If they're responsible with their children and they take good care of their children, then they know what it is to be responsible. And, a lot of times these people, are good in relationships. The only drawback is when you deal with somebody with kids, their time is not going to be 100% dedicated to you, okay? You are not necessarily going to be 100% their priority. Their time is going to have to go to their kids. Some, fathers, they get their kids every other weekend, and you have to be flexible with that. I did a podcast on this, you guys, about dating somebody with kids, all right? The other thing is, when you date somebody with kids, you're going to have to deal with ex-wives. Sometimes you have to deal with baby mama drama. All right, the kid needs this, the kid needs that. Are you picking up the kids? So there is another thing involved in your relationship, okay? And these are not your kids, all right? The other thing you have to think about is if you have children with this person, you're going to be a extended family with them and their kids, which means that let's say you have children with this person. Anytime there's a family party or something, his kids are going to be, if you guys get along and everything, they're going to be in the mix. So you want to be able to get along with their kids as well, because when you deal with extended families and people don't get along, there's always little upheavals that happen. There's troubles, okay? And then people start to feel guilt. Your partner will start to feel guilty, all right? They might feel guilty if they show you too much attention and affection. They feel guilty for their ex or their children, all right? This is what happens when you get involved with somebody who's got kids. The other thing you have to keep in mind is when you get involved with somebody who's got kids, all right, and they're paying out child support or alimony, they may not have a lot of money to take you out, okay? Depends on their financial situation. It's a catch-22. They could be paying out child support and all this other stuff for the children from their prior relationship, and, you know, they can't really do a lot of things with you because they're financially strapped. Then there's the other side to it. If it's somebody who's an older person who's more established in their life and everything like that, sometimes these type of people, you know, if they're in a different stage of life, in other words, they're older and they've already had their kids and stuff like that, sometimes they are financially better, okay? So it's not necessarily about, you know, is it better or worse? It depends on you, okay? And what you want to deal with. If you want to deal with somebody's kids, if you want to deal with going to their kids, you know, birthday parties, graduations, weddings, and everything like that. In other words, it's not just going to be you and them and just centering on you and them. It's them and their children and what is involved in their children's life, okay? Okay, I've got to clarify this. This is why I'm doing this podcast, okay? This guy in one of our groups, he says, something I don't understand. Women say they want a great guy. After dating jerks, they finally get a great guy, and then they flip out. They say they can't get used to this, or they don't know how to be happy with a great guy. Again, I hear from women about wanting this great guy. Why do ladies have so much trouble adjusting being with a wonderful guy? Okay, first of all, let me just say one thing. Whoever he dealt with, or whatever women he was dealing with, this is an excuse. All right? When you're with a woman and she's telling you, oh, she wants a great guy. Oh, you know, I want a great guy and everything like that. And then after you've gone out with her or something like that, and then all of a sudden she starts to back off a little bit and stuff like that. And, you know, there's something else going on there that she's not adjusting to the relationship. It's not about having a great guy. It's about something with you. She's not clicking with you, okay? That's why she's making these excuses, all right? And she might tell you, oh, you know, it has to do with my past. I had a rough past or something like that, all right? Or maybe you're not everything that she wants, all right? So just because you're a great guy doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't want to be with you because you're a great guy. The truth of the matter is she doesn't want to be with you because she's not feeling you, all right? She is not feeling you, all right? So even though you're a great guy, that's not why she doesn't want to be with you. Every woman wants to be with a great guy, all right? Unless she's just a flat out idiot. But the thing that you got to understand, all right? There's some women that don't look for the right partners, all right? They look at the lust part of it, like they're lusting somebody. Oh, they're really sexually attracted to that person, or they think they're hot or something like that. But they don't look at the person's character. So that's why a lot of these women, they'll go for guys that are like the bad boys or guys that have swag. They're looking at them on the surface and not realizing what somebody like that, you know, what they come with, all right? In other words, their lifestyle, you know, a lot of them might be womenizers or something along those lines. So the point I'm trying to make is this, you guys. If a woman says something to you like, oh, you know, I want a great guy and everything like that, and you're having trouble in the relationship and you're thinking like, well, she's just not adjusting to me or something like that, it's not because of you being the good, great guy. And we have to define great, because great means different things to different people. All right. All right. Everybody's got a certain type. Everybody looks for different things in their relationship that fulfills them. All right. Like a person's got to compliment another person. What my girlfriend, who she goes out with, may be a great guy. He may not be right for me, and vice versa. It all depends. Everybody's looking for different things, okay? But the point I want to make is, if you're dating a lot of different women and you find that, like, okay, maybe her track record, she always went for the wrong type of guys. Maybe she just doesn't know what qualities to look for, all right? Maybe she's somebody who's only interested in attraction with looks, instead of really appreciating somebody that's a good person, okay? That comes with maturity. Somebody who's mature understands that there's more to a person than just their looks. You know, how that person treats you. How does that person live? Is this person responsible? Can I trust this person? When you've been around the block enough times, these things become very, very important, unless you're just looking to have fun and hook up with different partners. Then you don't care. Then it's just a lustful thing, all right? But let's just clarify this. Women want great guys, okay? However you want to quote great guys, it shouldn't really be great guys. It should be good men. In other words, a man that treats them well. And I hear this all the time from a lot of guys that have been hurt, that say, you know, oh, women don't want a good man. They don't want a good man. Good women want good men, okay? Period, dot, end of story. That is a fact, all right? If you find a woman that you're dating and you feel like she's not appreciating you, if you really feel that this woman is not appreciating you, then you're not dealing with the right woman. You're dealing with either somebody who doesn't know how to appreciate a good man, or you're dealing with somebody very immature. In any case, you don't want to be with that type of woman. And you can't classify things and say, oh, all women are like that. Because you could say the same thing with the men. All men are like that. You judge somebody by the individual that they are. You don't judge somebody by their gender. All men do this, all women do. No. Because you have good and bad characteristics in people in both genders. So to just classify and say as a whole is not right. Yeah, maybe you've had bad experiences, and maybe you've seen a lot of women, you've been a good guy, and a lot of these women, you know, maybe weren't interested in you and they went for the jerks, right? That's because they didn't recognize that they were dealing with jerks, all right? Or maybe they were just interested in attraction and lust. In any event, you picked the wrong women. And that's why you feel in the way you did. Because there's plenty of good women that appreciate good men. I just need to clarify this, you guys. Okay, you guys, this is the last question, and it's a good one, and it's really common in today's modern dating. They wrote, if you've been talking to someone for a while and they're still updating their photos on Tinder, Facebook dating, does it mean they're still shopping around and looking to upgrade? All right, well, let's you've been talking to them for a while. What defines a while? A couple of weeks, a couple of months, longer than that? First of all, if you've been talking to someone, have you been seeing them regularly, or are you just talking to them? Where do you stand with that person? All right. If you've been dating somebody and you've been dating them consistently for 2 months and they haven't said anything about being exclusive, then they're not looking for anything serious with you. Okay. So it really depends on where you're at with that person. Just because you're talking to somebody doesn't mean you're exclusive with that person. Never assume that unless it's specifically said that you two are exclusive, you guys. That's why I tell you, always keep your options open. Always keep your doors open. You do not know what these people are doing or who they're seeing or who they're talking to. Okay? So in this case, okay, you've been talking to this person a while. But obviously, this person hasn't said anything about exclusivity. So you're just assuming you're exclusive with them. Okay? And yes, if they are updating their pictures on Tinder and Facebook dating, yes, they are not all into you. They're still out there hunting because they're trying to attract somebody else. That's why they keep updating their pictures, all right? They're on the apps. That means they're talking to other people and they're still looking, all right? So when you see that and you've been talking to somebody for a while or you've been dating them for a while, it's time to recognize in your brain, ding, 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 this person is not serious about being exclusive with me. They're just out there dating and, doing their thing. So that's why I don't put all my energy or time into this person, because it's not going to go anywhere. Because, what do I tell you guys all the time? People know right away whether they want to move forward with somebody. They don't drag it out. And if they're on these dating apps still, after they've been talking to you for a while, then you are not the one, or they are not interested in a relationship whatsoever with anybody. They're just out having fun. It doesn't matter. Listen to me and listen to me good. It doesn't matter what they've told you, all right? Doesn't matter if they sat there and they told you, yes, I want a serious relationship and I see potential with us and everything like that. That doesn't mean anything. Unless they specifically say they want to be exclusive with you, you are not exclusive, and you need to assume they are talking to other people. And if you're looking for something serious, you don't waste your time. And the other thing is, if you see that you're progressing in dating, okay, and you've been talking to this person a while, they shouldn't even be on the apps, okay? That's a huge red flag. If somebody that you've been talking to for a while is still on the apps, you gotta know, you guys, that this person is not looking for anything serious with you, all right? And don't waste your time with that. That person will waste your time in between whoever else they're talking to or seeing. So just be aware of that, all right? I hope that helps you guys. If it did, hit the subscribe button and share the podcast to your friends. Have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day. Audible is offering listeners a 30-day trial. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free 30-day trial. You get to select any book that you want on there and listen to it. They have books on there about breadcrumbing, love bombing, why did they lose interest, dating, relationship, any kind of book you're interested in and want to learn about, okay? You could listen to it in your car or if you're on the bus or the train. So go to my podcast description for the link at tinyurl.com/AskYazNow and start your free trial.